you first. Fighting out of the blue corner, wearing the colors of the Philippines, he officially weighed in at 133.6 pounds. In 37 professional contests, his record is outstanding. 32 victories, including 17 big wins by way of knockout, only 3 defeats and 2 draws. Here's the former WBO, NABO lightweight champion, hailing from Cebu in the Philippines, and now living and fighting out of San Diego, California. He is Mercito No Mercy GESTA. He enters the ring for the 27th time, holding an outstanding record. 19 victories, including 8 wins by way of knockout, only 4 defeats with 3 draws. Here's the former NABA Super Featherweight champion, living and fighting out of Los Angeles, California, y representando Hidalgo, Tultepec, Mexico, Carlos the Solution Morales.
And here we go. This one should be fast-paced, scheduled for 10. What does Morales need to do?
I think just what you said. Fast-paced. Set a fast pace. I think he needs to set it, start fast, and set an uncomfortable pace. Has to, in order to tire him down, needs to control the distance. He's the faster fighter. He's the more mobile fighter. He needs to control. He needs to keep distance between the two.
It'll be a welcome change from the co-main event we just saw, where the two guys literally were, 6-12 inches away from each other the entire fight. Watch two guys that love to move around, duck and weave, show their skills.
And that's what you get from Mercito GESTA when he's at his best. And I do expect him to be in better physical condition than he was for his last fight, which he lost by a late stoppage. He was not properly conditioned for that fight. He missed weight going into that fight and wasn't able to make the weight. And I know he was embarrassed about that. And found himself in a tougher than expected fight and was stopped late in that fight. And that was a tremendous upset. And now there's a real sense of urgency in his career. He's lucky enough to have had 2 shots at a lightweight world title. A lot of guys don't even get 1 shot. So he realizes if he's ever going to get a 3rd shot, it's got to be wins from here on out. It starts tonight.
Well, you heard Charles Morales in the package before the fight. He doesn't even consider GESTA an average fighter at this point of his career.
You're only as good as your last fight. GESTA looked good in spots. The thing about GESTA, he has a lot of talent. He didn't have an amateur career to speak of, but he's learned a lot in the gyms, and he had enough natural ability that he was able to turn pro and have a pretty successful professional career. But something that's really prevented him from really establishing himself as a perennial lightweight contender is that he's not able to put it all together. He's got speed, he's got power, good reflexes, he moves around the ring really well, but he doesn't always put it all together. And sometimes he loses focus as well. And that's good. That's good news for Morales, because he's one of those guys. He wasn't gifted with a lot of natural athleticism or whatever, but he has a good boxing foundation. He's a good technician in there. But for him to win these rounds, though, he's got to take the fight to Mercito, and he's got to outwork him.
Well, so far, this first round has kind of been spent both guys filling each other out, and Morales goes down to one knee, not a knockdown. And pretty much what we expected, both fighters trying to establish their game plans, what they want to do. And here we go. This one should be fast-paced, scheduled for 10. What does Morales need to do?
I think just what you said. Fast-paced. Set a fast pace. I think he needs to start fast and set an uncomfortable pace. Has to, in order to tire him down. GESTA needs to control the distance. He's the faster fighter. He's the more mobile fighter. He needs to control. He needs to keep distance between the two.
It'll be a welcome change from the co-main event we just saw, where the two guys literally were, 6-12 inches away from each other the entire fight. watch two guys that love to move around, duck and weave, show their skills.
That's what you get from Rosito Hesta when he's at his best, and I do expect him to be in better physical condition than he was for his last fight, which he lost by a late stoppage. He was not properly conditioned for that fight. He missed weight going into that fight and wasn't able to make the weight, and I know he was embarrassed about that, and found himself in a tougher than expected fight, and was stopped late in that fight. That was a tremendous upset, and now there's a real sense of urgency in his career. He's lucky enough to have had 2 shots at a lightweight world title. A lot of guys don't even get 1 shot, so he realizes if he's ever going to get a 3rd shot, it's got to be wins from here on out. It starts tonight.
Well, you heard Charles Morales in the package before the fight. He doesn't even consider Hesta an average fighter at this point of his career.
You're only as good as your last fight. Hesta looked good in spots. The thing about Hesta, he has a lot of talent. He didn't have an amateur career to speak of, but he's learned a lot in the gyms, and he had enough natural ability that he was able to turn pro and have a pretty successful professional career. But something that's really prevented him from really establishing himself as a perennial lightweight contender is that he's not able to put it all together. He's got speed, he's got power, good reflexes, he moves around the ring really well, but he doesn't always put it all together. And sometimes he loses focus as well. And that's good. That's good news for Morales, because he's one of those guys. He wasn't gifted with a lot of natural athleticism or whatever, but he has a good boxing foundation. He's a good technician in there. But for him to win these rounds, though, he's got to take the fight to Rosito, and he's got to outwork him.
Well, so far, this first round has kind of been spent. Both guys filling each other out, and Morales goes down to one knee, not a knockdown. And pretty much what we expected, both fighters trying to establish their game plans, what they want to do.
Can pay.
All right, here we go, round number 2.
And that was Marvin Samodio in Rosito Hesta's corner as the chief second. Hesta's father is also in his corner. And the last time we saw him fight, he had Freddie Roach in his corner, a Hall of Famer, one of the all-time great trainers. But maybe it was a good thing for Hesta to move over to Marvin Samodio's gym, because when you're at Samodio's gym, I think it's in Hawthorne, California, he's a big fish in that gym. He gets 100% attention, whereas Freddie Roach he's always got a stable of fighters, and that's a very busy gym. And Freddie Roach's attention is splintered. You don't always get that the kind of attention that you need, and obviously a fight with stakes this high with Hesta, he needs a full-time trainer watching him every step of the way during the camp.
It's an interesting point, and something that doesn't get talked about a lot is the preparation, how you change it, what works for you. Your fighter tonight talking about nutritionists and eating the right things and eating exactly and drinking what's right in front of them. It's a process. It's not easy to make these weights, to come in strong, feeling good after a weigh-in.
Yeah, and what worked for a fighter when he was in his 20s may not work for him once he gets to his 30s as his metabolism slows down. And hopefully, as a fighter ages, he learns from mistakes or bad performances, and he learns what works for him in the gym and also at home when it comes to nutrition and getting proper rest and those sort of things.
We're approaching a minute here in this second round. Live at the Velasco Theater, downtown Los Angeles. Hesta Morales, our main event. A really good night of fights so far.
And so far, neither fighter has really been able to land anything of note.
We had our first fight tonight before we came on the air. What did it go, 7 seconds? 8 seconds?
Yeah, that was the opening bell.
Yeah.
So somebody asked me about that young prospect. I'm going to be like, I don't know. I saw him for like 3 seconds. That was Evan Sanchez.
We literally turned around, turned back around, and it was over.
And they can bring him back ASAP. We didn't even break a sweat. Morales taking some chances, trying to find a home for his right to the body. He's leaping in. There could be clashes ahead since we have an orthodox fighter versus a southpaw. We should look for that.
All right, round number 2 in the books. Now back to the action in the ring. Gesta and Morales. A couple of good shots there by Gesta. Now, good start to this round. And Gesta now is looking really, really good. Quick, fast.
Those are his advantages in this matchup. And as long as Gesta stays on the outside and forces Carlos Morales to reach with those punches, he can make him miss, and then he can make him pay.
A couple of wild misses there for Morales.
Morales is going to have to find his jab, and that's not easy against a mobile opponent who also happens to be a southpaw and as fast as Gesta is. But I think Morales is going to have to get it going. That was a nice short right that Morales did on his right hand.
So far, it appears like a very even fight. A couple of good shots there as Morales was backing up.
The fight's definitely warming up. Both fighters' bodies are now warmed up. We used the first 6 minutes of this fight to kind of assess what the other man is bringing or trying to do. Their muscles are warm. They've got a little bit of the sweat going, so they let the hands go. Oh, beautifully timed right hand. Hey, that's why they call him the solution.
Will it affect Gesta at all? We'll see.
Definitely got his attention.
Well, you can hear the miss too, and another good shot by Morales. Well, he was very clear that he believes his skills at this point are far superior to that of Gesta's.
Well, I know his technique is better than Gesta's, but technique doesn't always translate to skill. Sometimes a fighter can have shoddy defense or shoddy punching technique, but because they're such a good athlete and they understand boxing, it's just basically the art of hitting and not getting hit, and they know how to control the distance, and they have the talent to move in and out. They can still be good boxers.
What does it mean by don't let him get even?
I think it means don't let him get momentum. Don't let him be even with you. I like that they say 3-punch combinations. Let the hands go. He has to find the right range to let those combinations go. I think he can let 1s and 2s go from long range, but his goal should be to get inside the pocket and then really work the combinations. Maybe he can't stay in the pocket for too long, but in order for him to do some real damage and to wear it down, he needs to get inside and let those combinations go. But it's funny, he was saying don't let it be even, or don't let him be even, and it could be an even fight. I scored the first round for Gesta, the second round for Morales. The third round was for Morales just because of that one clean punch, but if you were a judge from a certain vantage place, maybe you saw more shots landed by Gesta. The rounds are very close right now. And it really wasn't until the last round until they started taking some risks.
Just over a minute gone here in this 4th round. Somewhat of a slower start to this 4th round than it was to the 3rd. But as you said, Doug, you really started to pick up. Pace, punches, intensity.
See, the headbutts, it's going to happen with the southpaw and orthodox fighter. Especially when the orthodox fighter needs to jump in to land those well-timed. Oh, I see blood trickling over the left eye of Carlos Morales. That's from a headbutt. No doubt in my mind.
Yeah, we've seen some headbutts stop fights the last few weeks because they can really start to open up in a very, very quick and dangerous way.
And that being the left eye, it's right in line for Gesta's southpaw jab and that right hook. You better believe Gesta's going to zero in on that blood. just did it with his left.
He sure did.
Hesta's being busy right now. He's not really landing. Like I said, that blood was definitely from a headbutt. I saw the headbutt, and then I saw immediately after the trickle of blood. But it's bothering Morales. He just wiped at it. Luckily for Morales, he's got an experienced veteran cut man, corner man, and co-trainer working cuts tonight, Rudy Hernandez.
All right, so we are coming to the end of a somewhat even fourth round. It'll be interesting to see how Dougie.
It's not in the best places. There might be more than one cut. There seems to be a vertical cut near the nose, near the bridge of the nose, over the left eye. But there might be one also on the eyelid. I got to get a closer look. I like that Hesta's on his toes. You want to see that from a boxer. See him on his toes, out from a distance, getting into his rhythm. That's what Hesta's trying to do with that bounce, in and out bounce.
Let's look at you're up to the minute scorecard.
38-38, it's even. It's anybody's fight. My guess is, thanks to that accidental headbutt and cut that it produced, Morales, Hesta has the slight momentum coming into the fifth round. Morales is a veteran. He's been in tough. Golden Boy is matched. Oh, beautiful straight left. Yeah, boy, that was right in the mouth.
And Morales is shaking it off as if it didn't affect him at all, but I believe that it did.
Yeah.
And now Hesta backing down Morales, and Morales again shook it off.
Yeah, shook it off, and he's trying to answer back with right hands of his own. As I was saying, Golden Boy is matched. Morales tough. He hasn't always won, but he's always been competitive. And he knows that he can handle world-class opposition. He's had to deal with adversity before and answer back. And he's always done so he's going to do so tonight.
And you can hear this big crowd that is here very much pro Morales, trying to get behind their fighter. And Hesta using some really short uppercuts and then coming in with a big left hand.
Hesta's trying to press it at his advantage, and he needs to do that. Both guys have been guilty of not being active enough in step-up fights. And so I think there's real pressure for both guys to make some things happen before we reach the halfway point of this fight. We're at the halfway point. They've both been guilty of taking their foot off the gas.
Well, in an era where it's about how you look, how spectacular you look, it has got to be offense, offense, offense. With some good defense thrown in.
Morales pretty much counterpunched this entire round. He's had his moments, but so has Hesta. I think Hesta has been the aggressor.
Their season. Cleveland Browns tonight victorious over the Pittsburgh Steelers. Apparently, this is not the only place where there's fights tonight.
Yes, fighting spirit is everywhere.
Huge brawl at the end of that football game tonight. All right, here we go. Round number 6. Hesta Morales. A good left hand by Morales to start this round. Hesta just kind of put his head down and just started throwing, and now Morales is just trying to get out of there.
Some showmanship from Morales. He just paid for it.
I believe he was calling him a bull.
Yeah, he was acting the role of the matador, trying to wave the red blanket. Mercito went for it, and he scored.
And this crowd just came to their feet because the good-naturedness this fight just took a turn, and I like it.
Well, it's flashes of offense like that early in his career drew comparisons to Manny Pacquiao. Being from the Philippines,
I can see that.
being a southpaw, fighting at the weight classes that Manny Pacquiao used to fight at, people were looking at Mercito Gesta maybe as somebody who could follow in Pacquiao's footsteps. You know, those are huge shoes to fill. And Gesta tried his best, but he used to be known for his offense and known for getting knockouts. And then that changed when he stepped into the world-class level.
Well, it seems like right now Morales is really starting to feel himself. He is clearly confident that he's got this under control, but Gesta now connecting again and coming forward again.
Yeah, so the aggressor is Mercito Gesta. I like that he's taking chances. I like that he's not taking his foot off the gas pedal. That's been his biggest criticism. And if Morales has a smile or if he feels confident, it's because he's a counterpuncher. And counterpunchers have more opportunity to work their magic when somebody's coming straight at them.
45 seconds of the most entertaining round of this fight by far. And now Morales starting to unload the hands. Didn't connect, but at least letting them fly.
I like what I see from Gesta. He's moving on Morales, keeping him resetting.
Good uppercut.
Just kind of handcuffing Morales, but when he chooses his spots to let his hands go, he does so in brilliant flurries.
Boy, really good round there for Mercito Gesta. And very, very entertaining, to say the least. Let's keep it right here. Look at some of the highlights from that round.
Has to put his head down, let the hands go, and pushed Morales back into his own corner.
This was a scenario where he started to do the matador right here.
We're going to see it. Now see, he bows to him and says, now I'm going to hit you in the mouth.
Well, they're looking at that cut in the corner, and I believe they stopped the fight.
The cut got that bad. All right, well, if that's the case, if they're stopping this fight after round 7,
Let's sit up
what that means is they'll go to the scorecards.
What do you got?
No, yes, sir. Yeah. Accidental headbutt, just stopped it, go to scorecard.
All right, thank you very much. All right, so accidental headbutt. The fight has been... So through 6 rounds.
Yeah, they threw about the same amount. Gesta landed a little more, which makes sense. He looked busier. Power punches are almost even, so Morales was the more accurate of the two.
All right, there are your jabs. So everything is
Not much,
pretty even. All right, I'm interested to hear what...
Ladies and gentlemen, due to an accidental headbutt, per the advice of the physician, this contest ends at the end of round 6. Having gone over 4 rounds, we now go to the judges' scorecard. Here are the totals. Judge Rudy Barragan sees the bout 58-56 Carlos Morales.
How you doing?
Judges Tiffany Clinton and Don Diverges have the bout 57-57. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a technical decision majority draw.
All right, so both fighters are